What is up, my dudes? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we're getting into the r/StoriesAboutKevin subreddit. Now, a Kevin is someone who consistently or greatly shows a complete lack of intelligence through incompetence of social and societal norms, or is purposefully antagonistic in their poor decision making. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Short Kevin Story, posted by user ScottishBoy2002. One day, I was sitting with a friend who's not really a Kevin, but can be dumb at some points. Kevin was watching a video on YouTube, but the quality was crappy. I said to him, "Why not change it to 720p? His response was, "Because the video will spin 2 times. I spent the rest of the hour explaining to him about video quality. What? The video will spin 2 times? They think that changing it to 720p will mean it will play twice? Is that what they mean? Oh no. A Kevina has befriended me and there's no escape. Posted by user KNJ_072. A Kevina has found me at university. She has decided to switch her classes all to the same as mine, so we are together forever. She's the sweetest thing ever, but her Kevina-ness sometimes is too much. I've recently gotten another tattoo, and we had the following conversation. Me. I'm having such a hard time not scratching my tattoo. It's driving me crazy. Her. Oh, you can't scratch them? Will they come off? Me. What? No. Yeah, I guess she never heard that tattoos are permanent. No, you'll just make it look like shit if you scratch it afterwards, or you can, along with making it look like shit, it will get hella infected. So don't do that. Coming from somebody who has I think 15 tattoos now. Don't quote me on that. I don't really know. A Horde of Kevins, posted by user Paper Lover. I used to work for a company filled with Kevins. The stories below are actually about different Kevins, not just one. To be fair, all of these Kevins were very kind people. One Kevin couldn't remember the name of the company she worked for. When answering the phone, she frequently used a slightly wrong company name or left out one of the words in the company name. One Kevin didn't know how to use Excel, so he just calculated on scrap paper and entered the results in Excel. However, his math skills were not better than his computer skills, so the results were wrong. One Kevin didn't know how to make basic shapes in PowerPoint. He called me so I could explain it to him. He was almost 30 years old, so not a boomer. One Kevin sent me a scanned newspaper image and proposed I use it for a sort of ad campaign. I had to explain that we can't just use it because there are copyrights. Also, the image was pixelated because it was just scanned newspaper. One Kevin could not find the tab key on his keyboard. I told him it's the one with the 2 arrows. With these instructions, he found it. One Kevin accidentally sent a package to the wrong address because he mixed up the sender address and recipient address. So he accidentally sent the package to himself. One Kevin asked me why stock images have a watermark on them. He was shocked to learn that stock images usually cost money and that the watermark is supposed to protect them from being used without paying. One Kevin insisted she couldn't log in. After a while, it became apparent that she couldn't log in because she was already logged in, which was indicated by an entirely different screen and access to a bunch of protected information. I have some stories that are even more stunning in their Kevinness, but I can't share those without revealing my identity. Sure you can, just rename everything. And just, completely change whatever you were doing to, something else. The main story can stay the same. We need to know. We need to hear these stories, my dude. But the thing that shocks me the most is these are all different people. I want to see do you guys know a Kevin? Do you have a short, 3-4 sentence story about a Kevin? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear them. Kevin's new bike, posted by user Vexy. This Kevin was one of my girlfriend's World of Warcraft friends. Their birthdays were 9 days apart, and he asked to come visit us to celebrate them together. She agreed. Then, his 2-week visit was him showing up 6 weeks early on a one-way ticket to look for work here and move into our area. But that is another story. Kevin had lost his driver's license back where he was from, and he was unable to drive, so he decided to buy himself a new bike here. My girlfriend took him to the local Walmart, about 3 miles away, to make his purchase. After buying the bike and discovering the tires were not aired up well enough to ride it home, and it wouldn't fit in either of our cars, they came home and we took him back up with a small, portable air compressor I kept in my trunk. We get back to the Walmart and I fill his tires. He starts patting down his pockets and announces that he doesn't have the key to the chain he locked it up with. I asked him if it was the key on the table in the kitchen, and he tells me, "No, I had it in my pocket." I look at him because he had on shorts and flip-flops when he bought the bike, and changed into jeans when he returned home before going back. I sigh as he declares, "I'll just have to get it tomorrow then." I get home from work the next day and ask the girlfriend if she took him up to get his bike. She tells me that she had been waiting all day for him to get up and eventually has to leave for work at 4 p.m. I finally take him up and point out a side road he can go down to avoid a bit of traffic on the main road. He tells me he's just trying to pay attention so I don't get lost. I respond with, "Okay, forget that. Main road, straight shot. Turn at the CVS and you know the way from there." I drop him at Walmart, which watch him unlock the bike to ensure he brought the key this time and head home. I get home and my 10-year-old comes from Grandpa's next door to greet me and we talk for a bit before going inside. I start cooking dinner and she comes to help. After the burgers are done and the fries are in cooking, I go into a quick Google search, step back into the living room and ask her how long we should give before we get concerned. She looks at me puzzled. Well, Google says it's a 21-minute bike ride from Walmart. How long has it been? An hour? She looks at me, smiles and says, "Let's give them till the fries are done." Fries are done and I make each of us a plate of dinner. My girlfriend calls me on her break at work and I run through the same spiel with her. At this point, it has been an hour and 20 minutes. I tell her, there were sirens about 45 minutes ago. Maybe he got hit by a bus. Not that I'm hoping. Or maybe he's nearly to deleted location by now? Like, huh? I don't remember passing a casino on the way to Walmart. Oh well. Or maybe he's halfway across deleted city name by now. Like, huh? I don't remember riding a ferry to Walmart. Oh well. She asks if I tried calling him and I tell her, no, I don't have his number and quite frankly, I don't want it. She calls him and texts me that he's now about a block away from home. I sit in my office enjoying my dinner in front of my computer when I hear Kevin come in through the front door. He steps into the office behind me, breathing heavily, like someone who had just run a wind sprint. I turn in my chair to see he's soaking wet. Did it start raining? No, I went to where the bay ends, where the water just stops. I look at him confused, and he tries to show me on the map, still up on my screen. I see where he's talking about and say, "Ah, you went down deleted road. Yeah, you could take that straight to the CVS as well." "No, I went down and along the beach of the bay." I am now really confused. The bay doesn't have beach the whole way around. Kevin triumphantly declares, "Yeah, when I ran out of beach, I had to walk my bike through the bay. There was a point where I found a flat spot to ride on, but misjudged the depth of the drainage ditch and nearly wrecked my bike and almost broke my leg." I just look at him, confused and slightly amazed at the level of stupidity. You have, like, zero sense of direction, do you? I do, but I don't remember roads. I just know what direction I have to go and try to follow the roads that probably lead that way. Do you remember me driving through the bay to take you to Walmart? No. Then why the fuck did you leave the road? It was just my pioneering mentality, I guess. P.S. Funny side note, about a week after this, he was having trouble with his bike not wanting to shift gears. I took a look and discovered the culprit. Here's your problem. Your shifter cable is rusted into the sleeve. Rust? Already? On a brand new bike? You took it through the friggin' bay. That's salt water. I didn't know it was salt water, what it would do to my bike. Yeah, salt water and metal do not mix well, my dude. It's okay, just pour a bottle of Coke on that shit and just take a little toothbrush and scrub it. That's what Coke does to your stomachs, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin doesn't believe that I know the correct organ. Posted by user Eris.biatch. I work as healthcare provider at a doctor's office and occasionally will work with the front desk. The following exchange happened Friday. Patient, filing out paperwork, looks up and says, "Are kidney stones the same as a bladder infection?" Me, "No, stones are hardened deposits that form in your kidney." Patient, "Are you sure?" Me, "Yes, they are two different organs." A few minutes later, patient, "Are bladder problems the same as kidney stones?" Me, "No, still different organs and in different parts of the body." Patient, "That can't be right. I have stones and it always hurts when I go to the bathroom. Therefore, they must be related to the bladder." Me, "I promise they aren't." Patient, "Well, how do you really know? It's not like you're a doctor." Insert eye rolling. "I'll just ask Google." Me, "Okay," shrugging my shoulders. Patient, a couple minutes later, "Oh my gosh, even Google is agreeing with you. I'll just ask the doctor when I get in the room." Me, "That's perfectly fine, patient." Spoiler alert, both Google and myself were correct. Nurses know what they are talking about, people. LOL. Except those ones that get on social media and tell people, "I'm a nurse and you shouldn't vaccinate your kids." Don't even get me started on those ones. But yeah, if they're talking about organs and where they are on the body, I'm damn well hoping that a nurse knows the correct biology. Yeah. Everybody just thinks that a quick Google search will just tell them everything. But, you know, fuck people that went to school to learn all this shit, because they don't know goddamn thing, right? Right? Kevin versus birth control, posted by user Head2Heels. This took place, I think that's supposed to say. This took place over a decade ago when I was 17. I was getting my A levels from high school in India. I'm Indian. There was this Kevin who was part of our group. Very funny guy. He had a lot of non-Kevin moments as well, but most of the times he was a complete Kevin. I can't be sure if he was playing dumb for laughs or just really dumb at times. Anyway, most people in our group were couples and were getting sexually active. We had one popular couple who would have sex without protection, and then the girl would take a birth control pill, emergency contraceptive, after. She would take at least 4 to 5 each month. I really hope she's doing okay now. The rest of us played safe and very rarely had to go for the pill. Only when I turned 20 and lived in Milan, Italy for a short while did I realize that in India, the emergency contraceptive pill is sold over the counter. When I had to take one in Milan, I went to a couple of chemists and they all directed me to a hospital, so it was very new and sort of alarming experience for me. Okay, back to the original story. At that time, the pill was easily available, cost like $250 USD, was called something like Pill 72 and had 2 pills in it. The first pill had to be taken within 72 hours of sexual activity, and the second had to be taken 12 hours after the first. So we all knew that because it was mentioned in the little booklet that came in the box. Well, one day, Kevin and his girl lost their virginities to each other. Of course, they used no protection at all and decided to listen to the popular couple instead of everyone else. Kevin and his girl were at my boyfriend's house and we were all chilling. The guy from the popular couple bought the pills for Kevin's girl and handed them over for her to take. Kevin, like the gentleman he was, opened the packaging for her, poured her a glass of water, and gave her a pill in her hand. Then, to our horror and amusement, he takes the second pill and pops it into his own mouth, and then proclaims, "Done!" It took us the next half hour to explain that he wasn't supposed to take it. It was meant only for her. He still couldn't understand. We made him read the booklet. We tried to find a video for him to watch. He was still unconvinced. It got to the point where someone ran down to get his girl another pill for her to take 12 hours later. I heard he took the second pill again, just to be safe. In fact, the next time they used the pill, they bought two, and he took one set and she took the other. We tried to talk sense into the girl, and she just said, "Just go with it." Oh my god. Why? Oh my god. Oh, I can't even with this one. Oh, it's so good. That is hilarious. Oh my god, those people are not ready. No, they are not ready. Oh no. Kevina costs me a week of my classes and makes me look like a criminal. Posted by user Head2Heels again. Here's a Kevina I unfortunately had to interact with for my visa application. Now this might seem alien to a lot of you, but with an Indian passport, you need a visa to visit most countries. Minor context. I was moving from Mumbai to Milan in 2009 for a few fashion courses for about a year. This would be my first time across the ocean, since I've already been to the Asian countries as well as a few Middle Eastern ones. My family didn't want me to be alone in my first stint with Europe, so we planned a family vacation about a month prior to my classes, where we would visit a few friends and family in Brussels, Stockholm, and then finally go to Milan, visit my school, and even find me a place to stay at. For the vacation, I had to have a tourist visa, obviously, and my travel agent advised that we should return a week before my departure to apply for my student visa, which would take 3 to 4 working days to process. Easy, right? As luck would have had it, while I was on my vacation, the Italian rules changed, and now it would take 7 working days to process a visa. Enter Kevina. She was working at the Italian desk at the visa office in Mumbai when I had to apply for my student visa. I go to Kevina, and I already know I'm missing the first couple of days of my class and will have to rebook my flight because while I had 8 days in hand, 2 of them were holidays. So I go to Kevina with a hopeful smile. My mom always told me to be extra nice to government workers no matter how shrewd they can be, since they have the power to decline whatever you want. So I thought if I was very, very, very nice, she could perhaps help? I was wrong. She took a look at my passport and said I can't get a new visa because I already have an existing Schengen visa from the Belgian consulate. She was half right. She was talking about my holiday tourist visa that was a single entry visa and by default had a validity of 45 days. She said I would have to apply after about 2 weeks once the validity expired. I almost cried. I started to reason with her. My single entry tourist visa was already stamped, which renders it invalid for further use. She simply refused to listen. She said it was still valid. So I asked her, "So I'll be able to travel again using this visa?" And she stared at me and said yes. At this point, I was amused at her stupidity. I was also very close to being rude. I realized she was just another government worker who's going by the book with no actual knowledge and clearly no experience of international travel. Not that I was an expert on the same, but I still was well read enough to know slightly better and apply logic. So I heaved a sigh of defeat and asked her, what can I do? Because I have to go to school. She then came up with, "You can cancel the visa and then apply for the new one." She also assured that cancellation will take 1 full day to process, so I agreed to go for it. I had to write a handwritten formal letter asking for my visa to be canceled with a few other details, and then I submitted it to her. She told me to come back the next day after 2 p.m. The next day, I commute 45 minutes again to get to this office. I see Kevina and I go to her. She points to a section that says collection. From there, I get my passport and check to see my canceled visa. The lady at the counter with a confused expression asked why I applied for visa cancellation. I explained briefly and she just shook her head in disbelief as she said it wasn't needed in the first place. I opened my canceled visa and there across the page in bright red with a bold lettered stamp is "canceled" across my face in personal details and in tiny words, "without prejudice." My heart sinks because for a minor moment, I felt like some sort of criminal. I made my way back to Kevina to submit my passport for my student visa application. She stared at me blankly and said, "Submission is from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and collection is from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I looked at her in shock. She said, "Come tomorrow to submit." Not her fault, it's the office's policy she failed to disclose to me. Anyway, I'm back again on the third consecutive day to submit my passport. Kevina smiled at me. I'm relieved as she fills a form and writes down my details. I don't have to interact with her ever again. A week later, I'm back to collect my passport. I see Kevina across the room as I collect my stuff. As I checked my visa, I realized that my new student visas expired on the same day I finished my classes. So they were expecting me to go to class and then go straight to the airport and fly back home? I went back to the lady at collection and pointed that out, and she said they only follow what's written in the forms, which Kevina filled. At this point, I'm done with Kevina. I don't want to talk to her again. I don't want to even see her again. I was already missing the first week of my class, had to rebook my air ticket, not entirely her fault, and wasted 3 additional days thanks to her brilliant idea of canceling my previous visa, which was an already unnecessary step. And now I had to leave on the day my class ends? Not to mention, I would have to make up for this entire week of lost classes. Anyway, I leave. I'm done. Thankfully, when I got to Italy, the officials there were very helpful and much smarter. They couldn't exactly extend my visa, but gave me a letter that allows me to stay an additional 2 weeks, and my school supported by giving me documents that stated since I missed the beginning, I would have to stay back for a bit. God bless and guide anyone who had to go to Italy from Mumbai and had to be assisted by Kevina. Till date, I have that cancelled section in my passport since both my new passport and old one are bound together. I always get nervous when I apply for visas because I don't want them to reject me based on that. Wow, that is horrible. Can you imagine, like, traveling for me is already stressful enough, and to have somebody who doesn't know their job well enough to be helpful and informative, like, in a place like that, your employees need to be helpful and informative. Like, that is very important for traveling, especially international traveling. Like, that's just an unneeded and unwanted headache that didn't need to happen. That is horrible. All right, my dudes, I'm gonna finish this video off with something a little different. There's a new subscriber, Kailani Yates. I hope I'm saying her name right. They posted a little bit of a story in one of my last videos here, so I'm just going to read it now. So here's the story. There used to be a guy that hung out at the gas station near my house that would offer to pump your gas, put air in your tires, carry your stuff to your car, wash your windows, and anything else he could do to help you. Once he had completed whatever tasks you wanted done, he would ask you for change. If you said no, he wouldn't get upset or anything. He would just say that he hoped you had a good day and move on to helping someone else. He was the only panhandler at that gas station that owners didn't call the cops on because he was so helpful that people would actually come to that gas station specifically because he was there. He actually increased their business. I've always had a lot of respect for him because he didn't just ask for a handout. He actually earned whatever you gave him. One day, I asked him why he didn't just get a job because he obviously was a really hard worker. His response? I can't get a job because I don't have a car and nowhere within walking distance is hiring. Then he shot me this amazingly mischievous grin and said, "Besides, I make a lot more money doing this than I would working a regular job. I get to set my own hours and don't have to answer to anyone." He was a super cool guy and deserved every penny he received. I used to bring him whatever food I could spare, and in the winter, hot chocolate. I miss that guy. Wayne, wherever you are, I hope you're happy and healthy. I do too, man. That guy sounds awesome. Like I said in the comments, that guy sounds awesome. Like, clearly he's willing to work for the money he's given, and he's laughing because he's not paying any taxes for it. And like he said, he's probably doing a hell of a lot better making his own hours. I mean, that's what I want to do. I just want to make my own hours. I hate having to answer to other people. Thank you for sharing that story. He sounds like a cool dude. I hope you run into him sometime and you get an update for us to see how he's doing. That'd be awesome. Alright, my dudes, that is the end of this video. If you made it, congratulations, and thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please hit that like button. Don't forget to comment, share the video, subscribe, hit that little bell icon to be notified when I have videos just like this so you never miss one. And as always, the links to these stories will be in the description, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And don't forget to submit your stories, my dudes. Like, if I see your story anywhere in my vicinity, there's a chance I'm probably gonna read it, like I just proved to you again. So yeah, get those stories in and I'll put them in my videos. I know Percy's got an r/no sleep video he's working on for us, so I can't wait to read that. I'm thinking I might do a no sleep and let's not meet mashup on the weekend if I have some time. We'll see about that. Anyway, my dudes, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.